So this is a picture of Community Resolve. Not all at all of the people that work there, but a group of upwards of 20 plus who really spent a lot of their time working and thinking about how to work out in the community in all sorts of different ways. As you can see, it's an incredibly diverse group. It's diverse for Bristol. It's diverse really for the UK, and I'm discovering as I go overseas that it's pretty diverse for there as well. So how do we manage that? How do we increasingly bring more and more people in from different perspectives and manage to find a way to work together within the organisation to build on each other's strengths? We did acknowledge everybody's culture, and we were really interested to hear and know of their cultural perspectives on the different issues that we were working on. But what we actually did was work hard to create a culture within the organisation that could encompass all of us without making some people feel that they were left out. So we thought about how we used paper, we thought about how we communicated, we organised team meetings at all times, and we asked people to contribute their various cultural perspectives in order to grow the understanding of us all. Over the years, that built into a really strong and supportive team where people felt truly respected and valued, and so worked harder and were more committed for it. On this course, we're talking about the idea of conflict transformation. We'll come back later on to think about that in more detail. But the point about conflict transformation is that it is about a process of gradual social change. It is not about resolving a problem once and for all. That is a very, very big difference, and it's why it's different to the more traditional idea of conflict resolution. What it's really looking for is the peaceful management of diversity. How do we bring everybody together from their different viewpoints and get people working together in a sustainable way? Conflict transformation also really highlights the difference between violence and conflict. And it thinks of the goal of this kind of work as being non-violent social change. This quote comes from Diana Francis, who's a conflict transformation practitioner and writer who's worked overseas for many, many years, from Sri Lanka to Burma and many other places. She has taught on a number of our courses at the University of West of England over the years and has brought her ideas to show how they are just as applicable in the UK as they are overseas.
To think a little further about culture, take the time now, about 15 or 20 minutes, to think about a conflict that you were involved in personally, and think about where culture played a significant role in this. So culture in the broadest sense of the word, so look at differences around communication styles, ways of identifying or approaching the conflict itself, different identities and roles that were taken by each person involved in the conflict, perhaps relationship to time, ways of thinking about the world, etc. This exercise is very valuable if done in a group, because what it does allow you to do is to get another person's perspective on your understanding of culture. It can be very personal as well, because this is about a conflict that you're involved in. So you don't have to do it that way, but I would just point out that it can be incredibly revealing.
Let's have a reminder of what we've covered. The importance of getting to know ourselves. The EQ model is a useful way of seeing how we can gradually build our capacity to manage ourselves and so to better interact with others. We will return to similar models in future sessions. Definitions of culture, and the idea of culture in its widest sense, with thoughts on how to develop cultural fluency. You can read more of Michelle LeBaron's ideas in her article on culture and conflict in the additional materials section of the website. How our own sense of culture develops. The ladder of inference is a visual way of thinking about our own internal worldviews and how we may make them more apparent in the world. When culture can turn into cultural violence. The importance of understanding how meaning-making can influence how and when we can act. And finally, the peaceful management of diversity. Conflict transformation theory directly addresses these issues and encourages practitioners to keep them at the forefront of their minds at all times. Remember to evaluate the session, complete and upload any assignments onto the website, and follow up anything that interests you by checking the further material section of the website. We hope you enjoyed this session. Till next time, thank you and goodbye.